Welcome back to the channel. This is Football Temple brought to you by Azar Studios. Over the weekend, over the weekend, Chelsea became Club World Cup champions, and it's safe to say that Chelsea are the best club in the world. The USL winners versus the USL winners. If you are wondering what that means, it means the European Conference League versus the UEFA Champions League winners played, and at the end of 90 minutes, it was the UEFA Conference League winners who won the FIFA Club World Cup. It is safe to say that the UEFA Conference League is the best competition in Europe. Onkani-san joins me as he expected a Paris Saint-Germain 3-0 win. But he got the reverse of a 3-0 win. Meanwhile, I am here in a special rendition to tell Arsenal fans that you cannot win the Club World Cup because you need to play before you win the Club World Cup. Unfortunately, it is the Blues who are champions of the first edition of the expanded Club World Cup. This message is proudly sponsored that those who went for a 8 watch for Chelsea to lose against PSG, but unfortunately, they did not succeed.
The whole was stoned. The whole was stoned, and Enzo Fernández here was stoned. Congratulations to Chelsea. Amazing. See, you don't need to take anything away from Chelsea. See, they're the best club right now on earth. The best club on 8. There is no debate about that because I mean, what we had there was a congregating of the best club across the 4 different continents and wherever, and still Chelsea emerged the best club with probably losing just one game, in a game that they lost because of, though they were losing already before the red card came. I think they were losing
1-0.
No,
it was 2-1.
It was 2-1. Yeah, they were losing with a goal before that red card came. But come on, that's not the issue right now here. Amazing performance. I didn't see that coming. And thank you, Chelsea, for redeeming the face of England. PSG don't turn England to Farmers League. Catch Arsenal, Heat. Catch Man City,
Aston Villa,
Heat. Catch Aston Villa,
Liverpool.
Catch Liverpool. Everybody will come and and they humiliate them. Then go humiliate you, then go dominate you, beat you. Only Arsenal struggle with them a little.
Aston Villa tried. Aston Villa beat them, but it was
Aston Villa beat them. Yeah,
because the first leg result was already wide open.
Now Chelsea come look and say, you know, if you are prune, say waiting. What who wanna be? No. If other English team they carry on and they play, we no fit do that same thing. Chelsea took their game to them. Chelsea rendered them useless completely. Chelsea didn't allow them to play that expression that we used to see power here and there. Chelsea made sure that none of that happens. Chelsea were on them from get-go, from start to finish. I was thinking it's going to be a 10-15 minutes thing. After 10 minutes, it continues. Chelsea were more attacking-minded. And going back, they were compact.
Defensively.
This guy couldn't find a way. Dembele was holidaying for the whole 90 minutes. The only time I saw Dembele was when he came close to
early in the second half.
That Desiree passing, I think, if I'm not, yeah.
That Desiree pass. The one that
came close.
It was even Hakimi there. It was Hakimi in the first half. It was not Dembele.
I'm talking about the only time I saw Dembele. The only time I saw Dembele, it was when he, make that attempt to score that. That ball from Desiree. That other part, nothing. What Chelsea did, they had a game plan. See, I said it here. Thankfully, I've said it before now. I said, look, I've seen progress with Maresca. The Maresca we knew from
at the start of the season.
It's not the same Maresca that we're seeing right now. You could feel his input. Playing a different game completely. Then the miraculous thing that happened was icing on the cake is bringing João Pedro when it mattered the most.
This guy,
take away João Pedro.
Just to mention, João Pedro signed for Chelsea on the 2nd of July, and on the 13th of July, he's played 2 games with Chelsea, scoring 3 goals, and of course winning the FIFA.
Kante did the same thing. They have not mistaken. Played just 2 games or so and won the trophy with Chelsea. Immediately signed with Chelsea, though he might not have scored. You understand?
Crazy.
João Pedro is in a class of his own. Like I said it, even on different platforms, I've said it. I said, look, if you're looking for a striker, if you're looking for a player that's going to make an instant impact in your team, go for João Pedro. Come on, it's a different thing entirely here. Look, you have to give it to Maresca.
You just have to.
The composure, the belief, and everything. Never for a minute did I see a sign of doubt in Maresca's face. With what I've seen these guys done, I never believed in my wildest dream that Chelsea can survive these guys. Fact.
Now, you said it was going to be a miracle. I'm going to pick every word you said from
I said it's going to be a miracle.
That it was going to be a miracle if Chelsea win. Yeah. Now, let's talk about what Maresca did, because I want to stick with Maresca before we then go to individual play, and then what did Enrique get wrong? Yeah. Now, let's start with Enzo Maresca. 2 changes from the side that beat
which I insisted. I insisted.
But nobody did see.
I told you I'd rather go with the NATO and João Pedro and take back Nkuku to the bench. Remember, I said,
but we
I said
expected
so.
a striker to lead somebody else. But instead, we saw Malo Gusto remain at right back and Rhys James drafted to the middle.
Yeah, that's
of course, alongside Moisés Caicedo, which will come the Enzo Fernández. I know a lot of people will not agree, but sincerely speaking, Enzo Fernández and Moisés Caicedo are one of the best midfielders in the world. Unfortunately, their price tag looks like what was a big problem for them when they arrived.
Yeah.
But if you look at the inputs, the numbers of Enzo Fernández since he joined Chelsea, even this season, has been fantastic. Yes, you want to argue that most of the goals he scored and the assists have come from the Conference League, but you cannot take it away for a player that has had almost 23 goals.
Those are the competition he plays. So
yeah, those are what he plays.
Where do you expect him to go? And he needs to perform.
And he's shown. Because, now look at it. Now, for of course, Maresca, Paris Saint-Germain have a style. They want to press you. For 15 minutes, PSG were clueless. Yes, they almost got the goal, the first goal. They said they already decided to take a shot instead of trying to find Hakimi in the opening game. But the moment Chelsea opened that first opportunity with Cole Palmer, beautiful work from João Pedro, laying the ball back for Cole Palmer. The moment Chelsea had that first shot off target, it was game over for Paris Saint-Germain. At that point, PSG practically struggled the entire
now
the
about
first half.
Maresca, right? Let me say, I'll still stick to it. Sincerely speaking, it's a miracle for me because I didn't expect that to happen. But I wouldn't want to go back saying, if it happens again, no. They've done it and they've actually made me eat my words. But I said it. And for me, still now is a miracle because, I mean, nobody have actually watched these two teams in the past 4-5 months will sit down and say with conviction that Chelsea is, you understand, going to win this game 3-0. Like I said, if Chelsea wins, is going to be. So I still insist it's a miracle. Fact. Because pound for pound, player for player, as a matter of fact, I saw the pre-match team, both Chelsea and what do you call it? PSG. There was no single Chelsea player in that team. In the almost all this side. There was no single Chelsea player.
People gave Chelsea player the best start.
There was no single Chelsea player in the first 11. All the players from start to finish were PSG. So that's how good they are. That they lose that game actually make them a bad side. There are days like that. It's just unfortunate that it happens on one of the most wrong days
for them.
Yeah, that this kind of defeat came. Look, I mean, they've actually suffered defeat even after winning the season. They lost against Nice 3-1. They've actually had a couple of defeats here and there. But since the purchase of what they call them PSG in 2012, this is their worst defeat. They've never lost. They've never conceded 3 goals in the first half of any match
without scoring.
Without scoring, they've conceded and they've scored back twice against Lyon in 2012 and 2020. They conceded 3 goals, but they scored. They made sure that they conceded some and they didn't score
a single goal in 45 minutes.
In 45 minutes. So they, like you said, they were beaten in their own game.
Maresca beat them to their game.
Yeah, Maresca beat them to their own game. But that's too for me because that does not change the fact that the Chelsea players are better than these guys' players. So for me, it still remains some sort
Where
of
did Enrique
miracle.
get it wrong?
Enrique got it wrong. Not practically his fault. Number one, defense. Beraldo was a shadow of himself. If Pacho was there,
now it brings back to you know I did mention.
You understand?
When
it matters more, that's when Beraldo falter. Beraldo is a bad defender. So I can remember Marquinhos was not there when they were playing at some point this season, and people even forgot that Marquinhos was a PSG player. That's how decent Beraldo is. The game against Madrid, like you guys say, he was holidaying because it was PSG game. But against Chelsea, when Chelsea took the game to them, Beraldo just became a sham. He was a disgrace.
Nuno Mendes
couldn't just do anything. Nuno had his worst, like you said. Funny enough, we mentioned some of these things during our preview of the game. We said Nuno has been an outstanding player. Nobody has come up against Nunes, and was able to
go past him.
But yesterday, the 2 goals came from his own side.
From his side.
He struggled. That was a game plan. This is one of their strongest positions.
He struggled for fitness he struggled for strength with João Pedro.
João Pedro, yeah.
He was waiting for pace.
You understand? By Malo Gusto.
By Gusto,
yeah.
And of course,
and positioning too. Probably because he was so confident of himself. I mean, they compact him. This is how they play. You understand? So he could be anywhere. He knows somebody's going to be covering him up there. But yesterday, because they were beaten in their own game, while he was out of his own position, nobody was there to cover him up. So his own part of the field became so vulnerable for Chelsea. Yes, I think since I know him, yesterday was one of his worst games that I've ever watched.
Was clearly our fault, I think, for the first goal.
For the first 2 goals, if he was in the right place, nothing like of such would have actually happened. So Maresca knew, okay, this is how they play. Let's go at them that way. Now, that is what the impact of a coach that knows what he's doing, brings to the game.
Now, before I even go to individual players, it now tells you that now for Enzo Maresca, Now, in 18 months,
Yeah.
14 months, I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
Maresca has now won 3 trophies, winning the championship with Leicester City, the
Well, I
Conference
wouldn't
League.
consider, like I always tell people, right? I wouldn't consider championship as
No,
anything.
of course, that's
I
what he
wouldn't.
played.
Yeah, but I wouldn't
Well,
consider it
promotion.
anything.
Okay, let me
No,
not
but
say. But it's still,
I've never seen where they're talking about coaches that actually won anything and they bring coaches from
Yeah,
second
no,
year
no,
up.
yeah,
So
of
I
course.
think that one should
I'm
be
only
knocked off
speaking of
completely.
what he's
Yeah, but
won
that one should be knocked off.
as a
Let's just talk
manager.
about it, because we
Of
know
course,
him now. As at when he was playing in championship, nobody was talking
nobody
about
was
him.
talking about
So
him. And
we
then
know
winning
him
the
now
Conference
when he-
League,
yeah,
and
Conference
then
League.
winning, of course, the FIFA Club World Cup
Winning
for Chelsea,
Conference League,
and
then
not just
qualifying for
winning,
Champions League.
qualifying for Champions League, and the
Ending
fact
the
that
season in a very
Chelsea
high mood, yeah.
earned $125 million.
Yeah, it wasn't up to 125 because of the draw.
Okay, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
the draw.
yeah,
So
because of the draw.
at the end of it, they earned 140 million.
In a competition
dollars.
where probably at the start of the competition, the best bet Chelsea would have looked at themselves and say, if we get $60 million from this competition, it's a fantastic competition.
But the other way of it when it comes to finances is the fact that they would have actually earned close to that same amount during their off-season games because they get paid to go to all those tours. Now they're going to forfeit
definitely.
that.
They
So
forfeited it.
what they would have earned elsewhere, they forfeited it here. So it's as good as now you're not going to use that and say, okay, other teams are not financially because other teams that are not there are getting the same amount of money, playing in different this thing, all this
Going for tours,
for tours and doing all this, and they get paid. And so other teams, but come on, the most important thing here for me is the laurel. When it comes to the money, for me, is what I mean. The guys that this in favor the most are the guys from other confederation, the CONCACAF, the CONMEBOL, the Oceania, and the rest of them.
Even Africa.
Yeah, and Africa, and what they call it, CAF. But Europe, not too much of an impact. But for Chelsea, for a team that was humiliated during the regular season, for a team that became a laughing stock, for a team that people use as, a reference of, where you're not supposed to be when it comes to playing good football. Chelsea just see. I've taken everything I said because look, it was a victory deserved. They earned it.
Yeah.
There was no luck. They controlled this game from start to finish. They conceded few chances.
And Chelsea ended the club World Cup scoring the most goals, 17.
17.
17.
Yeah, 17, right? Because they couldn't score yesterday.
Yeah,
because
PSG did not score.
No, PSG has. Yeah,
No,
okay,
Chelsea
PSG couldn't
had
score.
the
Yeah,
highest.
PSG has 16. 16.
Yeah, 16. And
Yeah,
Chelsea
16.
has 17.
Chelsea have 17, but they conceded more goals than PSG.
Just one more than PSG. PSG considered 4. Before the final, PSG had considered just one.
Yeah, then in the final.
And they considered
yeah,
3
of
in
course,
the
they considered
final.
more goals
And
than.
Chelsea considered 5 throughout the competition.
Just tell you where the competition was, you understand? The level of competition. Amazing for Chelsea. We say, like I always say it, right? The money is for the owners.
Yeah.
The money is for the club. Are they support Chelsea? Are they support Man U? Are they support
not
because
the
of
laurel? Now the bragging right.
The bragging
Chelsea
right.
fans no fit
See the way you carry us around. See, do this thing.
They don't
You
reach.
understand?
They don't reach.
Now, if Arsenal was there, if
just
Arsenal,
look say,
no, financially,
they no dey for people who don't win. We don't win Club World Cup. No, you know if you see Arsenal jersey for you, they know they win. Club will not make a club will not they win Club World Cup. They know they display their jersey for years.
See, I want to agree with completely right. Maresca deserves his laurel. Honors, deserve his praises and everything. Now, this is what it is, or this is what it means to coach a big club.
Yeah.
Not like what Arteta is doing. Not like what we've seen with Man U.
Okay,
not like what you understand.
We'll go to Mikel Arteta.
no, but not today. No,
we'll leave on today. We'll leave on today.
No,
let's go to Kopama. Now,
what?
No,
that was a redemption for me.
You said is
a one-hit
in your
wonder.
word.
Yeah, a one-hit wonder.
It's a one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
We've had back and front on it, which I disagree.
Yeah.
I know that Kopama has potentials. He's showing it because for a player, probably a victim of his own standard,
Not really.
Came in the first season, banged in about 24 Premier League goals, thereabouts. Scored a couple of goals in the cup competition and all of that. Got assist, I think about 13 or thereabout assists, if not more, in his first season. And when Chelsea, you were second highest goal scorer to, of course, Erling Haaland. The following season, the thinking was he probably scored the same number of goals. But this guy in the final,
no. Before you continue, make a bubble. You remember my argument that day? The hallmark of champions, consistency.
Yeah,
and that was what he lacks. And that was my argument. And that's what makes him a one-hit wonder for me.
I'm going to Kopama at the biggest stage. Now, this is it. I think an assist in the Euros final for England.
No, a goal.
A goal in the Euros final.
He came in from the bench. I think he came in from the bench and scored. Yeah, and scored. That goal that only the game to
the last game he played for.
I think that was the goal that took the game to penalty.
Extra time
before.
Now the last match he played for City before he was sold, he got a goal in the
against
Super
Arsenal.
Cup.
No, Super Cup.
In the Community Shield.
Community Shield against Arsenal. Though Arsenal won.
Arsenal won. Now big stage again.
Big stage,
the Conference League final.
Yeah.
A goal I think 2 assists for Chelsea in the final of the
In
Conference League.
I can't even.
Yeah, he got 2 assists in the final
That is not in my
against
head.
Real Betis.
That's not in my
And
head.
then a goal and assist in this competition. Mind you, the only player that edged him in terms of goal scoring was 4 players in this Club World Cup.
Yeah.
He won the best player at the competition, the golden ball. I've had
Well
people
deserved.
who said he did not deserve it.
Well
Just to
deserved.
break it down, he finished with 5 goals. Only one player, 5 goals contribution. Only one player finished on 5 goal contribution at the Club World Cup. Gonzalo Garcia of Real Madrid.
With no assist.
Gonzalo had 1 assist.
Okay,
4
1
goals
assist
and
too.
1 assist.
Okay.
Kopama had 3 goals and 2 assists at the Club World Cup.
Okay.
So it was similar. And in the final against Paris Saint-Germain, 2 goals and a lovely assist. Practically strode past the entire PSG midfield. Practically.
They went flat that
Is this
day.
still a one-hit wonder?
I wouldn't want to use this particular performance alone. I mean, he still have time to. We have another season coming up very soon. Let's see how he's going to fare. I'm saying this because what we saw last season. Last season he was flat completely. Throughout the season he was flat completely.
Was he really flat?
He was. And that explains why Chelsea have to dig deep. That's what explains why Chelsea.
He scored double digits in the Premier League. 12 goals.
See, we were laughing
for a midfielder.
We were laughing at Kai Havertz for scoring such number of goals. We were laughing at other players.
Kai was played as a top 9.
And he was even injured and stayed away longer, but we still laugh at him. We say it's not a justification.
No, but it's,
you understand?
Okay.
No, come on, let's not use double standard here, right? The truth is this: at some point, even anemic performance here and there, even Chelsea fans, some senior former Chelsea players were even complaining too. It's a fact here that he redeemed himself yesterday, just yesterday. It's not enough for me to say no. He's not longer a one.
Semi-final.
Of course, in the last 2 or 3 games, it's not enough for me to say he's a stretch. Like I said, the whole mark of and that season is coming. Let's see how consistent he's going to be. That will now probably make me change my mind as far as I'm concerned, because consistency has to be the hallmark of great players. For me, for now, he's a one-hit wonder because we've seen so many of such things. Well, Carrie Stamp still thinks, of course, Kopama still remains a one-hit wonder until he proves consistency. Well, I don't know the kind of consistency one Palmer to prove again. Probably score 25-30 goals every season, deliver 20 assists every season, or every game. Every game he should show. Why do you talk
those
about
numbers?
Why do you talk about what's his name, Mo Salah? Why do you talk about Messi? Why do you talk about Ronaldo? Regardless of where they listen, come on, this is what they do.
So Kopama, of course, it cannot be at the level
of
Messi.
So no, this is so coming back to even the level. Me, I'm seeing with 15 goals, 2-3 seasons is enough for me. 15 goals, you understand? 2-3 seasons is enough for me. I'm not demanding. I'm not saying score 20 goals. Scoring those 20 goals for me, it was some sort of a miracle because I didn't expect that. But that tells you that he's a decent player. But what I'm talking about, 12, 13, 14, 15 goals in a season.
But he did it this season.
Now, in every 2 or 3 match, make effort. Let it count. Kofama can go 5-6 matches without making any reasonable effort. Those are the issues here. How many times have you watched these guys that we're talking about go 4 or 5 matches without making a reasonable impact?
Very few.
Simple.
Very,
so now this is based on argument.
So that's where the level
that's
should be.
That's based on my argument. Now, but if you're going to take those guys, you say, okay, for a normal footballer, he's a wonderful player.
Now let's go to Moses Caicedo because many have described him as one of the best midfielders. I don't know if you agree. Based on what he's done, because he's coming for 100 million. Struggled in the first few months at Chelsea. Yeah. When he hit the ground running, he's been a different player. And once again, for the whole of Vitinha, Ruben Neves, João Neves,
he had a good game against them.
He had a fantastic game, even though he was yellow carded early in that game.
Not
he
the early, second half.
No, it was early. It was first half. Chelsea picked 3 yellow cards.
It was towards the end of first half.
Yeah, 3 yellow cards in the first half.
Yeah, towards the end of first half.
And after they scored the second goal, they picked 3 yellow cards before they scored the third goal in that game. For him, what was it a changing? Was it the game changer for Chelsea in the midfield?
It was a good day for Chelsea players. Complete. Tell me one Chelsea player that had a bad day yesterday. Tell me one Chelsea player that you feel from the defense down to the attack. Tell me one Chelsea player that. So there are days like that. You understand? I'm not saying that he's not a decent player, right? But when I come to that's the same argument I'm trying to make. When we talk about what's his name, the Rodri of this world. When we talk about the other guys in the midfield that we shout about, even the Xhaka of this world and the rest of them, it's not just apart from their physical. We're talking about other things they do, the assists, the goals. With all this, you're talking about what is that? You only talk about marking here. You're talking about imposing himself in the midfield. My argument any day, anytime, which I always put Partey ahead of him, is few goals that Partey used to score.
Yeah, Caicedo is not a good scorer.
So that is it here. And so that does not, for me, he's still that average. And even with that, some people view Partey as an average midfielder, not a top midfielder. So if Partey is going to be put in that box, why should I put Caicedo in a different box? Why
So
should
he
I
needs
put
to
Caicedo?
also up his game.
He needs to up his game. He needs to be more. See, as crazy. Funny enough, now here's a simple thing, right? Xhaka makes some of the craziest mistakes, but his other effort makes up for all those things.
Forget of the mistakes. Yeah, I agree.
He makes some of the silliest mistakes, but his consistent effort in doing other things. You understand? Now, when you take away, which is what he's there for, he's not there to score. But what makes you a complete player is the addition of all these other little things. When you take away that thing that you spoke about, the energy running around, the coverage, you understand, the work rate and everything, nothing. On the day Chelsea struggle, he can't be that guy that will just give you that surprise.
Okay. Now, although even though I want to say something about Moses Caicedo,
He's a decent player. Decent.
I think for me,
he's a decent player.
He's a decent player.
He is.
He's shown that even from his Brighton days that. But why I don't attribute Caicedo with the goal scoring is the fact that he's never shown that he's a goal scorer. He's never shown that he's one that will give assist. He's just that midfielder, that defensive midfielder, you know, that wants to win the ball and release the ball.
And I just gave a simple example of top defensive midfielder.
Yeah, in it, because
if you look at it, from Rodri to Partey,
also look at the fact that he's playing a role where he barely also goes up front. Because if you have an Enzo Fernández with you in the midfield, what exactly do you need to go ahead of Enzo Fernández?
If you have a Declan Rice with you in the midfield, if you have what they call it, De Bruyne with you in the midfield, what is Rodri doing up there? How is he scoring goals?
No,
for me that's not an argument.
The chances come for us.
He's a decent player, right? He's a decent player, but it's not as amazing as we're trying to portray. Like I said, if we're going to put Partey in the box of just a midfielder who is not extra, then I think that is where this guy is.